This is where it starts from. The Nochada Maimah from the Rebbe Rashab, Eicha Eter, that he puts a special stress on it, that this is the beginning of all the Golus. What was before that? V'lifnei zeh ha'inyan de miyot ha'yoreach. Miyot ha'yoreach is that the moon became less than the sun. This marked also a descent, which this all relates to the Jewish nation. Because the Jewish nation has their calendar as a lunar calendar. So this is all one Yerid after the other. Asher Yerida zu hoise bekavona tchila. This was the chatchila intended, this descent, as the Mittel Rebbe explains in Teras Chaim, famous Maimah, as he says in the Order 45, see in the footnote, he says, Orei gam eichasham shekol zeh shviras hakelim. Shviras hakelim is the chaos that took place in the world of chaos, which collapsed, a spiritual world. Umiyat hayoreach is the Levana becoming smaller, shrunk. The moon, v'chet etzadas, the sin of Adam, v'churban beis hamikdash, the destruction beis hamikdash, le'hoya b'mikra chas v'sholem. It wasn't coincidental. V'akel b'shvil ha'yisri neir. It was a descent for the purpose of ascending and elevating after that. Leila, so this is what the Mittel Rebbe says, being a neir alila al b'nei Adam, that it's neir alila was a plan, lechatchila, an original plan, a plot that this is how it should take place. That the intention is, and the ultimate aim is, that through the descent there should be an ultimate unique quality and completeness in the Jewish nation. Because through this it will accomplish a uniqueness and a completion in the whole chain of creation. Because it all starts, as the Medrash says, Breishis, Beis Reishis, that it says Breishis bara Elikim, that in the beginning created, Hashem created. So it says Breishis is Beis Reishis, two Reishis. There's one Reishis is the Jewish nation, and the second one is the union of Torah. And world was created for that. So therefore, when there's a Shleimus in the Jewish nation, there's a Shleimus in the whole world. Maschel me'ela mazeh atachten shein tachten lemata memena. Where do we start the completion? Where do we have the enhancement? So this starts from this world, that there's nothing lower than this world. Okay, moshel haliver, moshel, like we have to lift up a big load. Shekshereitzim like bia al yodei bayis v'kayetze bezeh. When a person has to pick up a house, tzorich leches es haliver v'chelik hachi tachten shel habayis. He has to pick it up from the bottom. And b'meila, this is the way that he can pick it up. You have it also sometimes in upstate. You have certain houses that you see lechatchila, they're not really into the ground, they're not on the ground. Looks like, any time if they decide to move, they can move the whole thing together. So this is called a liver, and the Alter Rebbe brings it in Teirah Eir. Right in the beginning of Teirah Eir, and it's like something that lifts up. When could you pick up the whole house? When you pick it up from the bottom. You pick up the bottom part of the house. It's yugba kol habayis, and the whole house is lifted, uplifted. Is the same thing is also in regards to world, because world and bayis are connected one with another. As the Rebbe brings from I think it's in Iyov, it's in Mishli. B'chochma yivne bayis, b'tvuna yizgenan, b'tvuna yizgenan. The union of bayis goes on the chain of creation. The B'chochma Yivne Bayis, the Alter Rebbe explains that Bayis goes on the chain of creation, and B'chochma and all the different characteristics are the 10 attributes. That this is the way the attributes, through the channel of the attributes, the chain of creation was completed. Through elevating this physical world, which there's nothing lower than this world. It accomplishes an aliyah in all the worlds. That says not only that b'shas you want to pick up technically, that you have to pick up something, you have to pick up from the bottom, but there's a deeper meaning in it. And the deeper insight is that dafka, the bottom, has this impact on the whole chain of creation. Whole chain of creation. V'aliyah be'efim de'in areich. It is an aliyah completely not within the range of a regular elevation. Al derech, like the difference between somebody that's walking or somebody that's hopping or somebody that's jumping. It's completely shalei be'erech. Just a person walks, feet are on the floor. Just a person hops, there's at least 1 foot off the floor. Just a person jumps, so it's considered kfitza b'shtei yad raglayim, both feet. As the Rebbe explains in a letter, in a MaMaar, in Tafke Tavshan Lamed Vav, which was the year of a Kates, 1976, the Rebbe speaks Pesach that year. Barichas also in a letter the difference between regel achas, shtei raglayim. This is the union of off the ground, so this is completely not within the range. So this is the difference between an aliyah and elevation. When the bottom part is also uplifted, then everything is uplifted in a way of be'ein arech, because the bottom is the foundation and the intention of the goal of the holy shtalshelus. The holy shtalshelus is that the bottom should be complete, because this is where everything was the foundation of everything, and it's actually holding up everything. As the Rebbe mentions in a MaMaar, after 50 years ago in a Basi Degani, the difference between a foundation in a spiritual sense and a foundation in a physical sense. In a physical sense, a foundation is from the bottom. In a spiritual sense, it's on the top. The sheirish, the moker, the root, source is on the top. As it's mentioned in the MaMaar from the previous Rebbe, for Yud Shvat, the sequence of MaMarim, that the Hasidic discourses that the previous Rebbe gave out for the day of his Istalkus when he was Nifter, when he was Nistalik on the 10th of Shvat 1950, that when we say that the relationship between the Almighty and world is twofold. It is L'mayla Adin Kates, it is L'mata Adin Tachlis. L'mayla Adin Kates means that he's completely out of range. The revelation is out of range of world. On the other hand, when he does reveal himself, reveal godliness, it touches and reaches the lowest part. L'mata Adin Tachlis. These are two extremes. One extreme and another extreme.